Are you tired of feeling controlled by your emotions? Does it seem like every day you're being pulled in different directions by external forces, stress, anxiety, anger, and doubt? What if I told you there's one habit, a Stoic principle so powerful that it can completely transform your life? Imagine a life where you're in control, no matter what the world throws your way. Welcome to Stoic Techniques, where we uncover the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, mixed with modern strategies, to empower you with tools for true mental freedom. On this channel, we believe in self-mastery, emotional resilience, and the strength to overcome the chaos of everyday life. If you're ready to dive deep and transform your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss this journey to unshakable strength. Let's get into it, starting with the one Stoic habit that will change everything. Number 1, the power of control. The one habit that Stoics swear by. What if I told you that the most powerful weapon you have is not found in what happens to you, but in how you respond to it? That's the essence of Stoicism, and it's a game changer when it comes to mastering your emotions. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood that the only thing we have control over in this chaotic world is how we react. External events are inevitable, but our response to them is always in our hands. The key Stoic habit that we're talking about here is mental discipline, the ability to control your reaction in any situation. When life throws challenges your way, be it stress from work, a disagreement with a loved one, or unexpected setbacks, your first instinct might be to react emotionally. Anger, frustration, fear, and anxiety can take hold of you, making decisions for you that you might regret later. But Stoicism teaches that by developing the habit of pause, a brief moment to reflect before reacting, you gain the power to choose a response based on reason, not emotion. The beauty of this Stoic habit is that it doesn't require you to suppress your feelings. In fact, Stoics didn't believe in suppressing emotions. They believed in understanding and controlling them. So when anger rises within you, you don't act on it right away. Instead, you pause, acknowledge the emotion, and then consciously choose how you respond. You detach yourself from the emotional wave and approach the situation with clarity and composure. Think of the power this gives you. How often do we react impulsively, say something we don't mean, or make rash decisions in the heat of the moment? The habit of control prevents that. You become aware of your emotions, but you're not ruled by them. By practicing this Stoic habit, you begin to exercise true freedom. You no longer become a slave to your emotions, and instead, you harness them as a tool for greater mental clarity. Take a moment and reflect on your daily life. How often are you affected by external stressors? Perhaps it's a frustrating email at work, a sudden change in plans, or a disagreement with a friend. If you are constantly reacting, you're giving away your power. But if you can pause, take a breath, and choose your response, you've just transformed the situation into an opportunity for growth. This is why Stoics like Marcus Aurelius made emotional control their number one priority. They understood that in a world full of chaos, the only thing you can control is yourself. And when you master yourself, you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. You become unshakable no matter what life throws your way. This mental discipline is the foundation of emotional resilience, and it's the key to becoming unbothered by life's challenges. With time and practice, this habit transforms you into a person who is calm in the storm, who responds to life with reason and strength rather than emotional reactivity. Imagine having that power in every area of your life. This is the Stoic path, and it begins with the simple habit of controlling your reactions. Number 2, the dark psychology behind emotional control, mastering the inner world. Now that we understand the power of emotional control, let's take a deeper dive into the dark psychology behind it, because this habit doesn't just make you emotionally strong, It also taps into a psychological force that can completely transform how you engage with the world. Let's face it, emotions are powerful. They can easily hijack your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Whether it's anger, fear, or stress, emotions have a way of pulling us into automatic reactions, leading us to make decisions that we later regret. But here's the catch. These emotions don't have to control you. You can control them. One of the most profound insights from both Stoicism and dark psychology is that the mind is easily manipulated by external circumstances, people, and even by our own unconscious biases. Often our emotional reactions are not conscious choices, but automatic responses. The more reactive we are, the more we're controlled by our external environment. Every time something happens, whether it's a stressful work situation or a harsh comment from someone, we're pulled into a chain reaction. We feel something, react to it, and act out of emotion. Here's where Stoicism comes in. The habit of emotional control is not about denying your emotions, but about becoming aware of them and gaining the ability to choose your response. Stoic teachings remind us that we are not victims of our emotions. We are the masters of them. Think about this. Every time someone tries to provoke you, whether it's a person on the road, a colleague at work, or even a family member, they are pulling you into an emotional reaction. And when you react emotionally, you're playing into their hands. You're letting their behavior control your state of mind, and you're allowing external circumstances to determine how you feel. This is where the power of detachment comes into play. By practicing emotional control, you're essentially creating a buffer between stimulus, what happens to you, and response, how you react to it. This practice is rooted in dark psychology, which suggests that the less you react impulsively, the more control you have over your mind and environment. But let's take it one step further. Emotional control also empowers you to manipulate your own mental state. Think about it. By gaining mastery over your emotional responses, you can choose to remain calm even in the most chaotic situations. You don't just react to life, you choose how you engage with it. Imagine having this power in all aspects of your life, whether in relationships, work, or your own personal growth. The Stoic habit of emotional control not only makes you mentally resilient, but it also makes you less vulnerable to manipulation by others. When you stop reacting impulsively, you regain control over your life. This is mental liberation at its core. It's not just about emotional control. It's about mastering the very way you think and respond to the world around you. You can stop being at the mercy of negative emotions or the opinions of others. Instead, you start thinking and acting with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. So, the next time you feel your emotions rising, remember, this is your moment to take control. You don't have to react. You can choose how to respond. By practicing emotional control, you are not only following Stoic principles, but you're also mastering the dark psychology that will transform your mind and your life. Comment below with, "I control my mind, I control my life," if you're ready to master your emotional responses. Number 3, why this habit changes everything. The ripple effect. Now that you understand the power of emotional control and the psychological forces at play, let's dive deeper into why this one habit is truly transformative. Emotional control doesn't just change your immediate reactions. It starts a ripple effect that touches every single aspect of your life. You see, mastering your emotions isn't about isolated incidents where you just stay calm in one stressful situation. It's about rewiring the way you approach life itself. It's about shifting from being someone who is constantly reacting to someone who is proactively responding. And this change, no matter how small it seems, has far-reaching effects on your overall well-being. Imagine this for a moment. You're having a challenging day at work. You're dealing with a difficult colleague, Or maybe a project isn't going as planned. In the past, you would have probably felt overwhelmed, anxious, or even angry. These emotions would have dictated how you approach the situation, leading to stress, poor decisions, and potentially even conflict. But now, with the habit of emotional control, you pause before reacting. You acknowledge the emotion, whether it's frustration, anxiety, or anger, but you don't let it dictate your actions. Instead, you choose how to respond. You focus on reasoning, on finding the best possible solution without letting emotions cloud your judgment. This simple habit of taking control in the moment is what makes you a master of your fate. And the best part? The more you practice this habit, the easier it gets. It becomes automatic. You no longer feel pulled by every little emotional trigger. You're no longer controlled by external forces. You have mental freedom. This isn't just about staying calm in a difficult moment. Over time, you begin to notice that you're more present in all aspects of your life. You stop overreacting. You let go of minor frustrations, and you become more focused on what actually matters: your growth, your goals, and your well-being. The ripple effect doesn't stop with just one situation. When you master emotional control, it spreads into your relationships, your career, and your personal life. Emotionally strong people are the ones who have the ability to stay level-headed, even when the world around them is in chaos. These people are reliable, trustworthy, and most importantly, they bring stability to the lives of others. Think about your relationships. How often do you react impulsively, saying things you regret in the heat of the moment? How often have your emotional responses created unnecessary conflict? Now imagine if you could pause, acknowledge the feeling, and choose a thoughtful response. You'd become a rock of stability in your personal life, someone people look to for advice and support. And the best part, this habit doesn't just impact you, it ripples out to the people around you. When you control your emotions, you set an example for others. You inspire those around you to be more mindful, calmer, and more centered in their own lives. Imagine a life where you're in control of your emotions, where you're not easily shaken by external circumstances, and where your mental clarity gives you the power to navigate any storm. This is the ripple effect that emotional control creates. This is why this one Stoic habit, mastering emotional control, changes everything. It's not just about handling stress better, it's about creating a new way of life, one that's more peaceful, focused, and resilient. The power to respond instead of react is life-changing. Drop a comment saying, "I choose peace and clarity," if you're ready to start building this habit and create your own ripple effect of emotional strength. Number 4, the scientific backing, why it works in the brain. By now, you've seen how emotional control is the key to becoming unshakable in the face of life's challenges. But you might still be wondering, does it really work? Can we retrain our brain to stop reacting emotionally? The short answer is yes, and there's scientific proof to back it up. Let's dive into the neuroscience behind emotional control. When you practice emotional regulation, you're rewiring your brain, literally. Your brain is a complex network of neural pathways, and these pathways are shaped by your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. When you repeatedly respond to emotions in a calm, controlled manner, your brain starts to form new neural habits. These habits allow you to react to stressors with clarity, rather than letting the emotional response hijack your system. Here's how it works. When you experience a stressful situation, your brain activates the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions like fear, anger, and stress. The amygdala sends a signal to the body, triggering a fight or flight response. This is your body's natural reaction to danger. It's meant to help you survive. But in today's world, this reaction is often triggered by non-life-threatening situations, like work stress, disagreements, or even traffic jams. This is where emotional control comes into play. By practicing the Stoic habit of taking a pause before reacting, you're allowing your prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for logical thinking and decision-making, to come into action. The prefrontal cortex helps you think through the situation, assess the best course of action, and make rational decisions instead of acting impulsively. Over time, by repeatedly practicing this habit, you strengthen the pathways in your brain that favor rationality over impulse. You create new, more effective neural circuits that allow you to stay calm, even in the most stressful situations. Your emotional reactions become less intense and more manageable, and your brain becomes more adept at responding thoughtfully rather than emotionally. So, what does this mean for you in everyday life? It means that when you choose to pause, you're not just controlling your emotions in the moment. You're literally retraining your brain to make better, calmer decisions automatically. With each practice, you're strengthening your ability to stay composed and focused, no matter the situation. This is neuroplasticity in action, the ability of the brain to reorganize itself by forming new connections. The more you practice the Stoic habit of emotional control, the more you rewire your brain to become a calm, rational thinker in all aspects of life. This is how Stoic wisdom aligns with modern neuroscience, proving that controlling your emotions isn't just a philosophy, it's a scientifically backed mental training that leads to long-term success and emotional freedom. This ability to control your reactions and form new habits of calmness doesn't just make you more emotionally resilient, it enhances your mental clarity, helps you make better decisions, and allows you to navigate life with purpose and focus. By mastering this habit, you're not only enhancing your emotional strength in the moment, but you're also changing the way your brain works to make that strength automatic. Over time, emotional control will become second nature and your life will transform. The habit of taking control of your reactions will allow you to live a life that's not dictated by the whims of your emotions, but shaped by your Stoic wisdom and mental resilience. Number 5, the key to becoming unshakable, your path to lasting change. Now that we've explored the transformative power of emotional control, the neuroscience behind it, and how it creates a ripple effect in your life, let's talk about the ultimate goal of this Stoic habit, becoming unshakable. What does it mean to be unshakable? It's about being emotionally steady and resilient, no matter what challenges come your way. It's about handling life's difficulties with grace and strength, and not letting external circumstances dictate how you feel or react. Imagine a life where no matter what happens, whether it's a disagreement, a setback, or an unexpected change, you remain calm, focused, and clear-headed. This is the power of emotional control, and it's exactly what Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus practiced. Being unshakable doesn't mean you won't face difficult situations or experience negative emotions. It means that those emotions no longer control you. Instead of letting anxiety, frustration, or anger dictate your actions, you learn to pause, reflect, and choose your response. You no longer feel overwhelmed or trapped by the chaos of life because you've built a mental foundation based on Stoic principles. This Stoic habit of emotional control allows you to break free from the constant emotional roller coaster that most people experience. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond with reason and self-discipline. You stop being a victim of external circumstances and take full ownership of how you feel, think, and act. Let's take a real-world example. Imagine you're in a high-pressure work situation where everything seems to be falling apart. In the past, you might have gotten stressed, panicked, or lashed out at others. But now, with the habit of emotional control, you pause. You take a deep breath. You assess the situation logically. You focus on what you can control, and you take measured action. You don't let the pressure overwhelm you. Instead, you stay focused and make decisions that align with your goals and values. Over time, this habit becomes ingrained in you. Life may throw challenges your way, but you will no longer be shaken by them. You will handle each obstacle with the calm, clarity, and strength of a Stoic. You'll become someone people can rely on, someone who handles stress with ease, someone who approaches life's difficulties with unshakable resilience. This is what Stoicism teaches us. Nothing external has the power to disturb your inner peace, except your own reactions. When you practice emotional control, you regain the power to shape your emotional experience. You move through life with a sense of confidence, knowing that you are in control of your emotional state, no matter what happens. This is the key to becoming unshakable. Emotional control doesn't just help you in one aspect of your life, it transforms every part of you. It shapes the way you approach relationships, career, and personal growth. It allows you to stay calm in the storm, resilient in adversity, and focused on what matters most. With this habit, you become a force to be reckoned with, someone who is emotionally indestructible and who lives life with purpose and inner peace.